G'day and welcome to my channel. Well, I finally got the lathe out of its crate and onto the lathe stand, and I've actually started using it, just practicing, just basic stuff for beginners, because I am a beginner. So the first thing that became apparent is I need better lighting. This lighting here is, it's quite poor really. I am going to get one of those magnetic based work lights or something like that, but I definitely need some overall lighting that lights up the whole lathe. So I was given one of these lights from a work colleague, one of these LED panels. If you can see that, it's 32 watts. So I'm going to use that. Whoops. Hang on to it. Here we go. So, I was thinking of something like this. See, that's heaps better, eh? That's fantastic. So yeah, something like this, eh? It's going to make up some sort of frame and cover and whatever else goes along with it. But not only that, I really want some sort of shelf here for the bits and bobs and whatever else. And you know, even though I do prefer to keep the tooling in drawers, just because it does get quite dusty here at times. But things like your keys, whoops, which is just too much hassle to keep putting back in the drawer, so I usually leave them to rattle around up here, which is not ideal really. So I thought, well, part of this shelving here too, I'm going to have a thing for the keys to sit up here. I've seen quite a lot of other guys do that, so yeah, from here to here, back on, voila. So I've just cut these up for the frame. These are just 25mm square hollow section. They're about 2mm thick, which is probably a little bit thicker than they need to be. But this is what I had in stock, so we'll run with this. So I was looking at doing something like this. Just whack them on the wall here, and then the other stuff attaches to these. Something like that. So I think I'm going to start with closing off the ends. Now normally the quickest and easiest way would be just to buy one of those black plastic plugs and just shove them in, but I haven't got any of those, and since it's the holiday season I'm not going to wait for them to turn up. So yeah, I'm just going to weld these shut, just notch them and something like that. Yeah, so I'm just going to have a bit of a scrounge around, see what little pieces of scrap we've got. Yeah, I'll make something out of that. Just chamfering the corners. It's quicker than doing them on the linisher. Just like that. I don't know why I forgot to allow for this. You know, I've done this sort of thing before. Anyway, it is what it is. Look, it's not too bad. I think I'm just going to fill this in with a welder. Just be done with. Just a bit of extra grinding. Yeah, it's alright. All good, no worries. Oh yeah, that's not too bad. Rightio, well that's the two rails, so the two uprights done. So we're going to move on to the brackets for the light and the shelving. And what I got here is actually this IKEA kit. It's for mounting a PC tower under your desk. It used to go something like this. These would go under here like so. This bit here will clamp under your desk with these thingamajigs here. Yeah, so I'm thinking of I can use these here as the bracket for the light fittings. So I'll come off here, cut the end off and modify that. And then this here can be the shelf over the lathe. I just got to cut it down and modify it, and this and that. So yeah, I've had this thing floating around for absolute years. You can tell by the dust. So if I can repurpose this, I'll be quite chuffed. So what the idea here is to attach this under the shelf, something like that. Whack a couple of holes in this, and they'll be for the keys. I'm about to tackle this bracket on for the keys onto the shelf here. I've just drilled a series of holes, so I'm just going to weld it down through there. We'll see how that turns out. I'm actually not quite sure what this thing is coated with, what sort of coating, and how it's going to withstand the heat from welding, but we'll see how it turns out. Plenty of clamping here, so hopefully it shouldn't buckle too badly. So I'm going to go easy, I'm not going to pump too much heat into it. It stinks, whatever it is. Alright, let's have a look. Did it actually work? Did it stick? It should have. Oh yeah, that seems to have done the job. Yeah. Things bubble up a little bit, but we'll sand that back. So I actually went out of my way to overbend them slightly. This is roughly the angle that I'm after, so we've still got a bit more to go. I'm just going to slot in a bit of a packer here. Yeah, I don't know, I might be able to do something like this. So let's see if that... I think that might work. Let's make sure I got this straight. Here we go. Well, that does appear to be working. Alright, let's just check it against the bevel. Yep, just a little bit more and we're there. So that's the two brackets fixed to the uprights or the rails. And they're just for holding the shelf. That goes on like so. So there's holes drilled and tapped. So there we are. So this is the transformer, or I guess these days it's called an LED driver. So it's going to sit on top of the light fitting, something like this. Yeah, I don't know, it is sticking out a bit far. I would like to be able to conceal it a little bit better. So I'm thinking I might actually recess it, cut a bit of a hole in the plywood here and lower it down. So I just got a bit of 11mm thick dressed all round pine here, left over from doing the sides. Yeah, I'm just going to screw that to here for the LED driver to sit on. Bugger, too close to the edge. I'm going to have a go at fixing this. It'd be a damn shame to waste this whole piece of timber. That's the IKEA brackets modified, so I've just cut them down to size. I drilled some of the existing holes here, and this is just fixed to the rail with some socket cap head screws. Rightio, all the bits have been painted, so I think we're pretty much ready to put this thing up. But before I do that, I've got this IKEA magnetic board. Came out of one of the kids' bedrooms some years ago. I've never really known what to do with it, so I thought, well, I would like to repurpose this as well. So I thought it could be quite useful having this on the wall above the lathe for your tables and charts and stuff like that. It's a bit bright, but I think it'll be okay. Here's the second bracket, and this is the bracket that's also going to be hosting the cable run down to the power point. So rather than cable tying the cable to the brackets, I thought I'd be really clever and conceal it within the bracket. So it's going to go something like this, and then the cable's going to drop in through this hole. It's going to come out of this hole here. This bracket goes like so. So the cable's going to enter in through this hole here. It's going to run down the inside of this square hollow section and then exit out through the bottom, and thereby completely concealing the cable. Sounds like a good idea? I certainly hope so. So this lead here is not going to be long enough. So I've got a second lead here. I'll splice the two together. So I just want to point out where this screw passes by the cable, the insulation on the cable isn't compromised by the thread on the screw, and that's because the top bit of the shank is smooth, and that is a bit that passes through the square hollow section and past the cable. So it's all good. Oh, geez, that's bright. That's very good. Ha! Look at that. I can see now. Bloody marvellous. I've got to say, that is a bloody good light. I'm really happy with that. It is to the point where I don't have to rush out and buy one of those magnetic base work lights. This is actually quite good. And what's even better is I hardly had to buy anything. Actually, as a matter of fact, the only thing I had to buy was the dressed all-round pine, and that didn't cost a lot. And I'm very happy I managed to repurpose some of our discarded IKEA furniture. I've got to say though, concealing the cable was a fair bit of stuffing around, but once it's done, yeah, I think it was well worth it. Rightio, well, I think that's it. Good stuff. Happy days. Right, cheers guys. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.